You're out.
All right, good evening, everybody. I want to welcome everybody to the August 27th, 2013 Planning Board meeting. It is being recorded by Don Mackey for LCAT and our director, Robert McDonald. Is there anybody else at this time that's recording this meeting? All right, that being said, first up is Orchard Grove Preliminary Subdivision Plan. And we got Gary Weiner here, Dave Chatelain, and Roger Chatelain.
Right there.
Whatever you want to do. The floor is yours. Oh, we got one. We got one notice we got to read into record. Got a little ahead of myself.
Oh, what am I reading?
You're reading the DPW report? Yes, you did.
Boy, this is a
get away
great
with
job.
it, yeah. And the police report.
I told you not to come back.
This is a result of our roundtable.
Yeah, I remember that.
That's easy stuff.
Okay. Do you want to read all this too?
No.
Okay. These are concerns from Frank Moriarty, Assistant Town Engineer for the town of East Long Meadow. His concerns are as follows. To avoid another Orchard Road street name. The next one is 50-foot right-of-way. The standard is 65 feet. 60 feet. The 50-foot right-of-way approved by the Department of Public Works. Number 3, 24-foot pavement. The standard is 30 feet. Standard sanitary sewer to be lowered on Orchard Road will need to be pressure tested. Maintain grading contours on lots 5 through 10 after homes are constructed. Crosswalk required at the intersection. Recommended at a stop sign or a stop bar at the intersection. Ownership of the property south of house number 123 Orchard Road. Typical sanitary sewer easement width is 30 feet, not 20 feet. Possible road narrow sign in front of number 141 Orchard Road. Fire hydrant to be located on the property line at lots 5 and 6. All utility plans to be submitted with definite plans. Drainage calculations needed for definitive stage. If you have any other concerns, feel free to contact Frank at his office.
No, God, I'm just
Okay.
gonna.
This is the Police Department Residential Site Plan Review. Site title is Orchard Road Extension. Location is Orchard Road. Applicant Joseph Chapelain and Sons, 87 Shaker Road, East Long Meadow. Owner Joseph Chapelain and Sons. Illumination street lights installed, no. Recommendation is yes. It is recommended streetlights be installed to improve safety for pedestrians and vehicle traffic and to reduce the potential of criminal activity. Sidewalks installed, yes. Recommendation is yes. It is recommended sidewalks be installed on the north side of the proposed street to improve safety for pedestrian traffic in the neighborhood. It is recommended the proposed sidewalk connect to the existing sidewalk. It is recommended the sidewalk end at the driveway on Lot 5 or Lot 6, depending on which side it is installed. It is recommended a small landing be installed at the sidewalk end adjacent to Orchard Road to facilitate centralized school bus transportation. Signage, street signs installed, yes. The recommendation is yes. It is recommended the street be issued a name other than Orchard Road Extension to improve emergency response and to comply with existing emergency 911 regulations. It is recommended the street sign be installed as soon as residential construction work is initiated. Traffic impact number of home sites 10. Intersection location Orchard Road. Traffic amount increase, yes. Traffic control changes, yes. Recommendations, yes. It is recommended a stop sign and stop line be installed at the intersection of Orchard Road and the proposed subdivision due to potential confusion of right-of-way issues. Police services increase, yes. Additional recommendation comments. Consideration should be given to the driveway located on the residence on the southeast corner of Orchard Road and the proposed subdivision to allow the residents sufficient maneuvering room to safely negotiate the intersection.
That's it.
And that's it.
That's all? Anything else?
I just have
Oh,
one.
Sorry.
Lot 31C is actually part of the subdivision. So it
as it
would,
exists now?
yeah, it would actually be an 11 lot subdivision, unless you're going to, you are, okay. So it's actually 11 lots.
All right, so
Because
31C
you see, this is newly
not
created.
built upon, obviously.
Pardon?
31C is obviously not built upon. Is that a safe bet?
Right. Well, it's being
progress.
built upon,
Oh,
but
okay.
it's part, now it's part of, it wasn't before,
Okay.
so it's an 11 lot subdivision. That would be under the homeowners association as well, or are you gonna do something to take it out of the subdivision?
Probably, so you guys, but probably wouldn't want to remove it. And just everything on the interior for that is the homeowners association.
What do you think?
Since we've already got a contract.
Because it's creating a new lot.
Then
Yeah, I would think so. I would think so. Makes more sense.
Oh, there is a homeowners association for Orchard Road, correct? For Orchard Hill?
No,
No,
there is not.
there is not, okay.
All right, why don't you guys tell us a little bit more about what you want to do? We'll ask our questions once we get going. Gary?
Thank you. Good evening, Gary Weiner with Arlo Beck Associates. With me tonight is John Tomaszewski, who is actually the brains on the plan, as well as the coloring. But he did all the hard engineering on the project. But what we're proposing tonight is an 11-lot subdivision located southerly and easterly of Orchard Road. It's about a 23-acre parcel of land that's been laying fallow for a few years, and it's now proposed to have about 900 additional feet of street to service the new subdivision. The land is currently partially wooded along the perimeter and along the southerly side. The interior, if you will, is old field that is now overgrown with shrubs. There are some Christmas trees or pine trees in the central portion of the site, which will be removed. The topography is such that it slopes from the northwest down to the southeast. There's about a 30-foot elevation difference from the corner up here to the wetland edge. There is an extensive wetland that runs along the east and the south. The wetlands have been flagged by Pioneer Environmental, and we recognize that we will need a notice of intent based upon the lot grading and the proximity of the lots to the wetland edge. No wetland is proposed to be disturbed. However, work within the 100-foot buffer zone would be proposed. The site will be serviced with sanitary sewer and water coming off of Orchard Road. The sewer itself, this green line, will exit through an easement, pre-existing easement, down alongside the detention basin wetland area that exists because of the former subdivision on Orchard Road. And then, because of the need to be a little bit deeper in order to catch all of the lots in the subdivision, this section of sewer in Orchard Road will be relayed and dropped. There's enough elevation, there's a pump station at the low point here, and there's enough elevation in the line to be able to do that. Stormwater will be controlled initially, again, get into a little bit of a long story, but initially when we sat down with the planning with Robin and also DPW, there was a discussion about potentially using the existing detention basin that was created for Orchard Road, hoping that there would be additional capacity there and we could drain, if you will, into that detention basin. However, in looking at the basin and in looking at how it was configured as a wet bottom detention basin, and in looking at how the wetlands were set up within the interior of the basin, we decided that, and volume also available, it was decided that we would look elsewhere. So what we're proposing to do is to construct a detention basin along the southwest corner of the site behind two lots. These lots would be responsible, or an easement would be taken off of those lots, and these lots in essence would be the controller of the basin. Homeowners Association would be proposed, as we have in the past, to take care of not only the basin but also the infrastructure from the roadway to the basin. We did look at potentially placing underground structures. However, we did approximately 10 deep holes, and what we find is that The site has a seasonally high groundwater table, probably down around 36 to 40 inches, which really precludes us from doing much in-ground stormwater management. If you notice, we show a fill line, if you will, along the south of the roadway in order to raise houses above the groundwater table and also to provide for drain back, if you will, to our detention basin. Those are the highlights. We've taken the comments that were given at the round table. We will be incorporating them certainly into the final definitive design that's proposed. And as I say, we also recognize we have a notice of intent to file with the Conservation Commission and as we move forward in the process. So those are the highlights, and I'm glad to take questions.
Anybody want to start off? George?
Yeah, regarding lot 31C, in fact, its stormwater is going to feed into the stormwater system of the subdivision. And so, in my mind, it would make sense that they should be equally responsible for the detention basin as the other lots there. Runoff from that lot will go into the street and go down the hill. So it just seems logical that that should happen. What is going to happen with the land on the north side of the road at the intersection?
This parcel in through here, I'll defer.
That'll be deeded to the neighbor.
The currently Levesque, yeah.
Talking about that little corner piece?
An A&R will be submitted before the definitive plan. To include.
It will be submitted, okay, as an A&R.
Correct?
Yeah, okay. That's all I have at this point.
One question I have is more for Frank. I mean, he's questioning a 30-foot sewer easement or a 20-foot sewer easement. I thought 20-foot was always what we allowed. I mean, sorry, they already have a 20-foot from the previous subdivision. Curious why, is he changing? Has that changed? Or is that
I
something
don't know.
new?
Do you want me to ask him?
I would.
Did he say anything more to you about it? No?
You say anything to you about it? Just, I mean, if you've got 20 drawn here already in the existing subdivision, I don't know why
I
he's,
don't know if he's talking about the ones that we're proposing.
that's what I'm asking.
Yeah, okay.
Wouldn't make sense to run a bigger one into a smaller one. You know, I'd be curious more than anything.
I would think depth here is not an issue in terms of, generally you like the wider easement,
Right.
the deeper you go. But, I mean, depth here is, for the sanitary, really isn't an issue. The 20 makes sense. The 30 for the stormwater might be appropriate only in that it's going to be a traffic easement from the standpoint of maintenance, and they might want a little bit more width, but certainly a vac and a tractor and to do lawn
Yeah.
mowing.
Does it say
20 feet would be
sanitary sewer,
sufficient.
or
It says sanitary sewer.
does it say anything about the water? No?
I want to see the one about the sewer.
Just the sewer, okay.
Typical sanitary sewer easement with this 30 feet, not 20.
All right.
I'm just curious. And we're only talking 6 feet of depth, 7
Okay.
feet max.
7 feet?
I don't think it's major either way. I'm just curious
Okay.
if he's looking for a new standard. Anybody else have any other questions they want to run by?
Lot 31C, what's the new square footage going to be if the parcel to the north side of the road is being deeded to Levesque? Is it the 47,591?
He's asking if this and this.
Imagine.
Yeah,
Change
That's already taken the parcel that's going to go to Levesque north of the road? Because right now, the way this is drawn up, the property line goes to the north of the road.
Correct. The 47,591 is the new lot.
I believe that's.
It's the new 31C. And so I don't have the square footage here, but that is not included there. It would just be added on to
Makes sense.
Peter's lot on the other side.
All right, changing the street name, I'm assuming that's not an issue for you guys?
No.
All right.
Is there any specific reason some of these have full envelopes for buildable area for houses and some don't?
I believe we're using a 30-foot setback off the wetland just for, but it doesn't show on the plan, but that's the reason for the lines. You're talking on the southerly side? Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah, that's
Send it
the only
right
reason
here.
that's why.
Right.
that's what it is.
All right, anybody else have any other questions, comments?
Just as I expressed previously, we have had issues with stormwater management on Orchard Hill in the past, particularly with runoff from one of the detention basins going down the hill to the, no, not that one, the one on the back end.
Oh, the back. Oh.
Going down the hill and causing gullying and to the houses, the land, I should say. There weren't houses back then, but there's going to be a house down there soon, I think.
Arnett's property?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, Charlie Lamont's place, or
Yeah.
his son's place, I should say. And, you know, I'm concerned, and we'll take this up at Conservation, I guess, that how do we make sure this thing functions better than the one at the back end of Orchard Hill? I don't know that that's ever been resolved. I understand it was not part of Conservation because it was not jurisdictional, but I understand it was modified after it was constructed. So, do you have any comments on that? Or?
We weren't involved in that at all. I mean, I've seen it, and, I mean, the lack of maintenance there is fairly significant in that basin.
How is that one supposed to be maintained? By the homeowner or by the subdivision?
Again, that goes far back.
Yeah, I would have to look
I
it
don't
up, I
know.
don't know.
But there is no homeowners association there.
I don't believe so.
The one
The new
down at the far
orchard,
end by
At the
Arnett,
farm?
there is no basin.
Yeah, there's one at the top of the hill.
I thought that was changed.
On one side. Yeah.
I thought that was changed.
That was changed
Was
by
that changed?
the planning board requested that it be rerouted.
The
There
basin.
was,
That's
there
right.
was standing water.
yeah, yeah.
And people were complaining about mosquitoes,
Right.
so.
But now we're getting flooding down below. I mean, this is the kind of thing the detention basins cause. You know, when you get complaints about mosquitoes, and then we modify them, and we get stormwater management systems that don't manage the stormwater.
We went through, the planning board went through a lot at that area.
This is before my
Lot.
time on the planning
Yeah.
board, obviously, but I'm
Yeah.
concerned, you know, knowing the failures that we've had with the old detention basin on Orchard Road, down at the bottom there, and the new one not being really maintained well, because you can't get into it because it's overgrown with briars. I'm just wondering how this detention basin is going to be any better, given the same developer and basically the same subdivision.
Well, I would comment that, one, your enforcement mechanisms have been strengthened over what they were even 5 years ago. That you've established through the homeowners association a mechanism for at least observation, reporting, and some control over the basins, which you didn't have before. And so I think that, you know, with this particular basin, the homeowners association is going to have a responsibility to take care of it. This is not a wet bottom basin either. There's a little bit of difference between, I think, how this was designed and constructed, and this is going to be a self-draining basin, as we've done in the past, where we try to minimize the amount of potential mosquito impact and also the amount of time that you have water standing in these. Again, we didn't design either, you know, end of the subdivision here, but I would just point to like Peachtree and you know, others that we have done where we've tried to keep the bottoms, you know, from being wet. We're now honestly looking at Black Dog because we have a groundwater issue there that needs to be taken care of, so that we do keep it as a dry bottom and a self-draining basin. But overall, I think the design here is going to be somewhat different from what we had before. But as we've talked about many times here, it goes back to once the thing is constructed, albeit the catch basins or the sediment removal structure or the detention basin, it all comes down to maintenance. And even if you have below grade infiltration structures, you're still going to have a maintenance issue. But I think your potential for enforcement now is a heck of a lot stronger than what it was.
Did you look at LID, stormwater management? I mean, you've got an awful lot of wetland back there, an awful lot of empty land.
We did not. What we have done is to remove the detention basin from jurisdiction. There is no point source discharge within jurisdiction here. And so, there, as I say, we've looked at trying to minimize intrusion into the buffer zone, and we did not, because of that, look at LID.
Okay. Well, I'm just expressing my concerns. Obviously, having good enforcement mechanisms is great, but it's better if you don't have to enforce.
I totally agree.
Okay, thank you.
All right, point of clarification, you said we have problems down there, or we do not have problems down there? Because I was understanding we did not have any problems down there, at the other end.
At this end?
Yes, at the end.
I don't want to go into the history of that. It was partially due to the abutter and partially due to failures of the stormwater system.
Okay.
Okay, and it was a rather contentious issue some years ago, as we know.
Yep.
Again, part of it was the abutter, but part of it was also the maintenance on those two detention basins has not been ideal, is all I can say.
Okay.
Mr. Chairman?
Yes.
In normal practice, the right-of-way is usually 60 feet. Off the top of my head, I can't recall any right-of-ways at 50 feet. Is there a reason that we're contemplating cutting down to 50 feet?
We've actually have done it in the past. I've actually done it myself. A couple other builders have done it. We try to cut down on the asphalt, you know,
On the
the
amount of
numbers,
effort.
the amount of water that goes in. It's not,
I mean, I
it's not
understand it's a
unusual
small
anymore.
development, like I said, but as far as the right-of-way goes,
Usually, most communities are seeing and have seen the 50-foot right-of-way because within the tree belt areas, which are the areas where if you wanted a wider right-of-way width, or you needed it, that's where you get up to the 60 feet for your utilities. In this particular case, there's no extended reason to have that extra 10 feet of potential maintenance, potential, issues that would fall to the town, similarly to the pavement, as to why it's narrowing down. The 60 feet, as I say, tends to be, can be pretty wide. And if you wanted a
Well,
big
again,
green
that-
space, that's fine.
as a right-of-way, like I said, it doesn't mean you have to asphalt the whole thing.
No,
No,
It just
no,
means
I
it's-
understand.
We gotta have the room for the sidewalks, underground utilities, electric.
Exactly.
'Cause I think we
I
did
think
that
all
for-
the utilities are in the road, right?
Now your electric and your gas, and if the subdivider takes Verizon, which many are not anymore, hardwire phones are pretty well going the way of the dinosaur, but gas and electric are in the tree belts, back of the berm.
Back of the road.
Just one other question on the detention basin. There's a 8-foot elevation drop. Why from 282 to 274? What about fencing around it? I mean, in many of our areas, you see where they have to be fenced in. 8 foot's a pretty significant drop.
I think, for sure, this will be fenced. In fact, at the roundtable, you raised the question here, in transition, what we'll do under the definitive is pull these grades down so that it's not so extreme getting down to the basin, but this full basin would be fenced in. But again, it's a basin that is not going to hold water longer than 72 hours,
Hopefully.
if we do our job.
Anybody else? Sandro?
I'm good.
Ty, anything
No, I'm
you
good.
wanna add?
Yeah, I was here last week, so.
One
Yes,
other
sir.
question. You had talked about needing fill for what lots 7, 8, 9, 10?
Correct.
How many cubic yards of fill are we looking at?
In excess of 20,000 yards. Because
1,000
we're
truck
picking the
load,
roadway up
Mhm.
to.
1,000 loads,
Yeah, at least.
20-yard trucks.
Sorry, Bert.
I mean, that's an awful lot of heavy trucks coming in down Orchard Road and all. The town's taken Orchard Road, correct? I mean, as a board, are we concerned with any possible damage on the road?
I've spoken with DPW, if I may.
Yeah, absolutely.
I've spoken with Dave Gramaski on that, and he feels that the roadways are solid enough that, unlike other areas where the roadways are really small neighborhood roads, that it should be all right. If the board wants to ask him again, you can request a bond to take care of the roadways, to make sure there's no damage done.
I think at the very least, I'd like a letter from them stating they're happy
Okay.
with what they have.
Mhm. But I think you were planning on coming from Hamden up Allen Street,
That's the latest.
down Parker.
They're looking for dirt.
Yeah. Are you anticipating any soil being removed from the northern lots to help suffice in this?
No, maybe a little bit, but nothing measurable.
All right. Anybody else have, if anyone else has nothing else, I guess, we'll wait for the definitive subdivision, we'll go for there. All right.
The preliminary has to be signed.
Okay.
You may want to mark on the
Changes
lot
that we made.
that it's going to be,
Do we need to take a vote on this, or?
pardon?
We need to take a vote on this?
Yeah. mhm.
Okay.
But you may want to mark on there and have the chapter lanes endorse, just
Or initial?
give you initial
Okay.
for that specific lot that's showing there that Mr. Levesque is going to have.
Okay. I do.
Other
Can I
than
have
that-
a motion to approve the preliminary subdivision with changes as noted?
So moved.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
All right.
Did you vote?
Aye, yep. I'll be a little bit louder next time.
Yes, please.
I thought since you're sitting next to me, I better not yell.
Well, that's true.
Let's make just a hard note to attach to it, because I'm writing it on here, but I'd like to have something.
All right,
All right? You want this copy signed, or you need anything else signed?
all of them, please.
All these?
No, that's something else.
Oh, I'm
The
sorry.
ones that are on the board here.
You all sign
There's
these?
3
You all
copies. The 3 officers. So Michael, Sandro, and Tide. And
Oh,
then I'll
clerk
put a
is an
stamp on
officer?
it. Yeah.
Wow, I had no idea. I better use the company pen.
Pick a spot where you want to sign it, and I'll put a stamp on it, yeah.
Did I steal your minutes?
That stuff out on the side.
Yours is
Might be worse.
maybe. I got an excuse to hold lefty.
How far does that catch you?
I just think in my right mind.
Yeah. I like that.
I gotta just do that. That's not beautiful.
You wanna have them initial that too?
I gotta sign that last one. Gotta sign the last one.
You didn't?
Nope.
Slide it right down there.
Would have been nice if ours was in color.
All right.
Bueno.
Just initial, just put your initials there. I'm gonna have her make a reference to it in a letter. Just says basically it's not gonna be a building lot, it'll be recorded as such.
Okay.
Just put your initials in the box for now. I wrote it. And I'll, right over the top of mine. All right, and we'll make a letter to go with that with the changes, so. All right.
I'll take care of that.
Thank you. Next up, we have public hearing special permit for home daycare.
Good.
28 Brookhaven.
Thanks, guys.
Thank you.
Thank you, bye.
Good luck.
Thanks, guys.
You need this?
No, that is yours.
Great.
28 Brookhaven, anybody?
All you
Those are you
have to do
guys?
is
Oh, okay,
read
great.
this.
Okay.
This says the same thing as this, only it's much easier to read.
Wonderful, thank you.
And there's a,
There's more?
yeah, there's a police report, police report, and there's a fire report.
Okay, great.
And this is her actual application, and it has her pictures of the area. as well as her license for 6 children.
Do I read the license and the
No,
application too?
you don't have
Okay.
to, no, just so that everybody can see that she's presented everything. she
Okay,
has.
great. The planning board of the town of East Long Meadow will hold a public hearing on August 27th, 2013 at 6:15 in the hearing room at the Town Hall, 60 Center Square for a special permit for Jennifer McCallion to operate a family home daycare on property located at 28 Brookhaven Drive. Information regarding this application is on file with the planning board and available to the public. This is, let's see, a fireman's report. Good morning, Robin. I have completed my inspection of the home daycare at 28 Brookhaven Drive. I have found all properties to be in compliance with all state and town codes, including smoke and CO detectors. Please feel free to contact me if you have any problems or questions, Ben. And the police report. Site location 28 Brookhaven Drive. Site manager Jennifer McCallion. State license 9009371. Traffic hazard none. Recommendations or comments. A review of the site and conversation with the applicant took place on Tuesday, August 12th, 2013. It was determined that there are no traffic or safety issues. Any questions may be directed to my attention, Sergeant Richard Bates.
That's it, or the application?
We can read the application too. Just didn't know the phone number.
Okay, the applicant is Jennifer McCallion. Address 28 Brookhaven Drive. Owner Wayne McCallion, who is a spouse. Address is the same. Description of the existing and proposed use within affected premises, including the names of the current residential address and telephone number of each child care assistant employed by you. Family daycare to begin operating at this address on June 4th, 2013. This application should be submitted with the applicant with 4 copies of state license showing name, address of daycare, and number of children allowed. Copies of photo identification, either driver's license or a state issue alternative for non-drivers for each child care assistant. A floor plan of the premises or portions thereof to be used in connection within the home daycare. Photographs of the entrance and exit to the home showing the outside play area and street in which the home is located. Has any previous application for special permit for this use been filed with the special permit granting authority by this applicant in connection with these premises? The response was no. And that's it.
Okay.
Okay, great. And pictures are included, enclosed.
Okay, you want to tell us a little bit about what you want to do, or?
Yeah, so I'd like to operate a home daycare in 5 days a week.
Okay.
With the potential of 5 days a week. Currently open 3 days a week with 3 children currently enrolled.
Okay, what do you foresee as a maximum number of kids?
6.
Okay.
5 plus my son.
Okay.
So.
All right, we're going to, I'm going to open up to the board for questions, and then I'll open up to the public, then I'll bring it back to the board, and then we can vote on it. So is there anybody at the board want to speak
Just
up?
one question.
Certainly.
I haven't seen the pictures, so
Oh.
the rear of the property where the play area is going to be, is that fenced?
No, it is not currently fenced. We've actually been in the process all summer of researching fencing.
Okay. My only concern is that the property backs up to woods which back up to the Mill River.
Correct.
And if the kids get lost in the woods and end up in the river, that's a problem.
Mm-hmm.
You know that, obviously.
Right.
I think it would be great if it could be fenced, at least at the rear, so that you don't have that issue of.
We have full intention. We're actually hoping to move forward within the next couple weeks of fencing in the entire back perimeter of the property, connecting to the house. So the rear exit of the house will have access to that fenced-in back area,
Okay.
and there would be no exit essentially for the children.
Okay.
All the gates will have latches and have locks,
Okay.
and I believe that is a state requirement as well. So.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
I am going to defer at the moment. I have not seen
Okay.
the property.
Simon, you want to?
I have no questions this time.
All right, I want to open up to the public. If you have any questions, please state your name and address, and any questions, comments, or concerns you may have.
Just comments, we're Mike and Kathy Robert, we live directly across the street from the McCallions at 29 Brookhaven. We're here to show our support for them opening a daycare. We moved into this neighborhood because it's such a kid-friendly neighborhood, so as you know, there's 1 million kids in that neighborhood, so I think 5 more would be an added benefit.
Okay.
Come support it.
Okay. All right, seeing there's nobody else, do I have a motion to close the public hearing?
So moved.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
All right, I'm gonna make, do I have a motion to approve the home daycare as requested pending further discussion?
So moved.
All right, any other discussion as far as this daycare goes?
The only thing I'd like to, on the record, say that planning board recommends that the play area be fenced.
Okay. He recommends that the deck and or play area be fenced.
I did take a ride down Brookhaven, actually, and it's a very quiet neighborhood. I think it would be a good location for this. It's not a busy street. I would definitely be for it.
Okay.
I'm good, I've seen the neighborhood. It's a nice neighborhood, a lot of kids.
Probably a good spot for it.
Yep.
Yep.
One of the deciding factors of moving into that neighborhood.
That's a great neighborhood.
Yeah, we definitely want it.
That's perfect.
For the little guy here, so.
All right, I've got a motion on the table. It's been approved and seconded. All those in favor?
Aye.
You're all set.
Great, thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Good luck.
Good luck.
Thank you.
I was that age once, and I was always running off in the woods.
You still are,
You still are, George.
Anyway.
Thank you. All right, next up is a request for waiver of site plan review, J&L Communications, 67 Nottingham Drive.
The property owner is Janet Lupiano. How do you say this? Say it.
It's your problem.
I-
Yeah, no, you
I-
said
Lupiano.
You can say whatever you want.
The owner's address is 67 Nottingham Drive, East Long Meadow. The name of the proposed business is JL Communications. Owner of the business is Janet Lupiano. The business owner's address is the same. Property address is the same. District is District A. Allowed use, yes. Proposed hours of operation. Hours vary depending on need. Number of employees, including owner, is 1. Date of last parking plan with copy of the same is blank. Summary of business operation, copywriting services. I will use my laptop and cell phone out of my home office for writing and for contacting clients. Clients will not be coming to my home. And then she signed the application.
Okay. All right, so it sounds like a home office. Nothing more, nothing less.
Right.
Anybody have any comments?
Motion to approve?
Second.
Ty, do you have anything you want to add?
No, I'm good with this.
Okay.
So moved.
We got a motion, been seconded. All those in favor?
Aye.
All right, request is approved. Next up is an A&R for Denslow and Shaker Roads.
Right in front of you, yep.
I believe this is Bay Path?
Pardon?
Bay Path?
Yes.
Combining some land to anticipating building a new building?
There are 2 pieces of land right on Denslow and Shaker, and where they want to propose where they are proposing their building would cross the property line.
So this is more formality than anything else?
Yes, what they're doing is combining the lot to
All right, so
equal.
square footage frontage really is not an issue?
No.
Great.
So the dotted line exists now, they're
Right.
basically taking that out?
Yeah, lot line adjustment. I tell you, this is a real shame. Isn't it too bad this never could have? Everyone comes out like this.
I know.
Yeah, you're right, now that you say that.
I know it.
You know, the good thing is when people do stop it rather than...
Yeah.
But on
Well,
A&Rs,
sometimes, right.
the lot line that they're changing, they show in a dotted line,
Mhm.
so that it's easier to
Right.
determine exactly what they're doing.
Okay, good. So the total land when complete is going to be 11.1 acres?
Correct.
Nice.
Great.
Now, that went up to Sunshine, or whatever
Yes.
that?
I think you're right.
Oh, yeah, Tennessee gas line goes along the bottom
Yep.
edge.
Yep.
Yep.
And the river goes through
I
there.
got familiarity with that.
In the plan I gave you, there's a rendering as to
Okay.
what it's going to look
That's very nice.
Parking lot, all that stuff.
like. 296 spaces.
A lot of power.
I don't want nothing to do with that.
This is
Right.
by-
Who's the owner of the lot right now?
I want to say John Davis.
No,
It's not.
Brownstone Holdings.
no,
No?
no. Oh, man.
Wants to keep guessing.
Pardon?
B&M Real Estate?
Actually, I think it was a company I never even heard of.
Right
This is WFL Realty. but
That's
who-
it.
Who
Band
is that?
They're the LLC.
Yeah, but there's no names behind
It's,
that? Oh, School Street, Westfield, okay.
All right, anybody have
I'm
any,
sorry, the name, just, it's gone.
Leveque
It's just
Associates?
gone, I've been talking to
The
him.
principal lives in town.
Pardon?
He lives in town on,
The
No,
principal does?
Wilbraham.
Dungate?
Wilbraham.
Okay, all right.
And his name is just
That's
gone.
one thing.
And
Yeah,
I've been
it's okay.
talking to him all week, and I could probably,
all right, does anybody have any,
No issue.
any issues
No,
with this?
not at all.
All right.
Make a
Straightforward.
motion to endorse the A&R?
I will second that.
All right, I've got a motion made and seconded. All those in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries 5-0. You need what, the Mylars and?
Everything.
Everything signed?
Start with
yes, I'm
those.
sorry.
All right, that's all right.
I believe that Mylar starts just you and Ty, right? No, just you and the Mylar.
Here's a Mylar.
Everybody signs a Mylar?
Everybody signed everything?
Just Mike. All of it?
Yes, every one of them.
Oh, lefty.
Righty.
No, righty.
Oh, righty, excuse me, but hold it
Like
like
a
a lefty.
lefty.
Kind of over the top.
A lot of smart people ain't gonna do
Yeah,
that.
there you go.
Swear to God. Had a friend who retired at 39. Red took a lefty. But he's a righty.
You mean there's hope for me?
Yes, there is.
Thank
Too bad you're not 39.
When you turn 39.
Thanks, Todd. Todd, I appreciate that.
You're welcome.
See that? And I got friends on my corner, don't you worry.
Yeah.
All right, so I'm the only one that signs the Mylar? Everybody signs everything else? All right.
Mr. Thunder's
I think it's probably the second oldest line.
I haven't come out to that yet. We're not far from it, though.
Gets worse and worse every year, doesn't it, though?
It does.
Awful. I think you missed one.
Giving me a hard time?
No.
I think you are.
Told you, Mike.
I'm sorry, Michael Crowder is the name.
Michael Crowley, okay.
There should be 5, right?
It's only 4.
Only 4? Okay.
Why is that?
Sorry.
It's gonna be 47.
That's 29.
Yeah?
It's gonna be a big confidential.
It's only a number.
Yeah, it is.
I honestly do more now at my age than I've ever done in my life.
I do
You're all
too.
signing them,
Yeah,
you have to
it's
sign all of them,
It
Mike.
just takes you longer to recover.
That's right.
I'm sorry, Robin?
If you're signing, if everybody's signing them, you have to sign all.
I did sign all of them.
He signed all the paper ones.
I can't even tell if it's upside down.
It is upside
It's
down.
upside down.
All right?
You all
At
right?
least the Ty put his,
Yes, but did Sandro sign these?
no, he
No.
said no.
No, you just said
You said-
one
you-
Mylars.
Oh.
I gotta do the Mylars too?
Yes,
Okay.
Sounds like complicated.
Sorry.
I'm sorry, I misunderstood what you were saying.
Yeah, play ice hockey 3 days a week and go to the gym 3 days a week.
God bless you.
That's upside down, backwards, flip it.
Thanks for having me.
7 days a week.
What's that?
Thanks a lot, Rob.
All right? Got everybody? Okay.
Just need the rubber band now.
Right.
I don't know, you want me to sign the Mylar too?
Here you go.
The next issue up is Party City. If you remember, they had the wrong numbers at the last meeting for their sign, and they're looking for a temporary banner.
Do we need to reread this?
Yeah, just to sign it, you know, the pictures are there. On the, I think it's the bottom one that's the latest.
So the clerk's got to get to work?
Yeah, we're gonna have to reread that.
Okay,
so we
very
can
good.
Start from scratch
This
all over.
looks like a little deja vu here. The company name and owner, Party City Retail Group. Address is 440 North Main Street, East Long Meadow. Nearest intersection is Main Street and Harkness Avenue. The square footage of proposed sign will be 64.63 square feet. It will be single-faced, freestanding, no. Attached to the building, yes. Projection, if any, 12 inches. If attached to the building, does the sign project over pedestrian or vehicular way? No. Setback from property line, 120 feet. Distance nearest side yard, over 200 feet. Distance to top of sign above vertical wall is 0. Feet illuminate is checked. Proposed sign permanent. Attached 2 color rendering scales to the, which has been done. The total number of existing signs is 1. Total square feet of the existing sign is 64.63 square feet. Total number of proposed and existing signs, 1. Total square footage of proposed and existing signs, 64.63 square feet. The applicant has signed the application. Estimated cost is $8,280, and a sign affidavit is attached.
All right, so this is just kind of
Those are the
a
old
new
ones.
information, because they
Yeah,
gave us the wrong
those
information
signs
before.
were incorrectly measured.
Okay, so now we have the correct.
The one that you have over there that Sandro has, that has the email, the first sheet is an email to me?
Yes, it is.
Okay, that's the correct one.
All right, so this is now
Right.
no more.
that's-
All right, I'm gonna hand that right back to you then.
Thank you.
All right. And it meets all the criteria now, they're in the right window, if you will.
But they are also asking for a temporary sign, a banner.
Can we do both at the same time, or are we gonna do these separately?
You do them separately.
Is it a separate application, or is that attached to this?
No, they just did the email,
Okay.
just so that people will know it's now part of the city.
Okay.
Yeah. What's allowed.
Until they get their sign.
Yeah,
Yeah.
this is what's there.
Could I have the
Yeah,
last
it's
one?
basically the
Yes.
same thing, yeah. I mean, it's appropriate for that location.
All right, anybody have any questions, comments, or concerns?
It's basically
No, I
the
don't.
same business, they
Yeah.
Just
just
changing
bought
the
out.
name.
They're not looking to hang anything on that runway?
No.
All right.
Second.
I'll make a motion to accept the signage as requested.
Second?
With the approval of building inspector?
Correct.
I have a motion made and seconded, all those in favor?
Aye.
All right,
And
No, temporary.
get back to her.
Thank you.
That is this one? Oh, yeah.
Yep, with the correct changes. That's a new one.
All right, gotcha. So we got something for,
The temporary sign.
Okay. In an email to Robin McDonald, the applicant is asking for a temporary sign. The second attachment shows placement for a temporary banner that would like to hang for a total of 30 days. On one side it reads, "Is becoming Party City," and the other side it says, "Is now Party City." This will serve to inform customers of the business change. The banner is approximately 2 feet by 14, it should be 14 feet probably, but it says here 2 feet by 14 inches. It's double-sided. And it is from the regional manager.
That's it.
Where's the sign going to be located?
I think where the original sign, or the main sign's gonna go. I think this is just a temporary sign.
The old one that they had, you see right here, it says "I Party Now."
Right?
I
Right.
believe that's where it's gonna be.
So they're going to put a banner up that says "is coming," and then they're going to flip it over when it's actually there?
My only concern is that I think we should specify in the approval that we are not approving any additional temporary signs, specifically the 2 by 3 foot,
Sandwich signs?
no, the sandwich signs or the little plastic ones that they stick, like
Oh,
political
everywhere?
sign.
Gotcha.
Okay, because I've seen at that shopping center a lot, particularly tax season. H&R Block has them all along the front. People have a sale, they put them all along the front. That's not really allowed, and I think we ought to make that explicit in the approval.
Okay. Point noted. Anybody else? Don, you have anything to add?
So I'll make a motion to approve, subject to approval of the building inspector.
How long?
30 days.
30 days.
Thank you.
Second the motion?
Motion made and second. All those in favor?
Aye.
Perfect.
That concludes what we have on the agenda. Is there anything that anybody else would like to discuss before we?
How about the minutes? Okay, next meeting, can we review the minutes?
Okay.
I have sent all the corrections for July 2nd, July 16th, and July 30th to Donna
To Donna?
today.
Okay, perfect.
And
Thank
this
you.
is the first one I've reviewed.
All right.
For discussion, I've noticed that there's been a change in the past 2 years, I believe it is, on the state level in regards to agricultural. And I would like at some point to bring it up. Our zoning bylaw has always mirrored the state, and I think that's a great way to go. I'd like to bring up the changes that the state's made to the planning board in a future meeting and see what we think about it and if we want to continue to mirror what the state has.
Okay. You talking like reduction 5 acres or 2 acres, that type of thing, or is there a little bit more to it than that?
There was a little bit more to it than that.
The percentage.
I've noticed
Okay.
the percentages dropped from 50 to 25%.
Really?
And like I said, I noticed over the years, we've always pretty much mirrored, if not word for word what the state said, it was pretty close. And like I said, I've just noticed recently the changes, and it caught me off guard, because I know we've always been pretty close with it.
That would be a zone change, I mean, a zoning
Exactly,
bylaw change.
absolutely.
Alright, so
But
Donna-
again, I think it starts with the board having a discussion to whether or not
Mhm.
we even think that that's something we want to do.
Okay.
I'd also like to, for hopefully our next meeting, put on the agenda some serious discussion about the medical marijuana bylaw. Robin now has bylaws from other towns and is prepared to put together a proposed bylaw for our town, or at least, a boilerplate thing that we can shoot at and change, because our moratorium will expire in such a date that in June of next year, so we need to have something ready for Springtown meeting.
Right.
And to do that, we have to have the article ready by January in order to get it on the warrant. So, it sounds like a long time in the future, but it ain't.
It's not.
You're quick.
And I think if Robin can provide us, and I know she can, with an outline or at least a first draft that we can then mark up and discuss and try to come to some agreement on, I think we'll be in good shape.
Sounds good. All right, Sandra, anything you'd like to add?
I'm good.
No, I think
Anyone
that
add for
sounds
Mike?
good.
Okay.
Now, for, regarding the casino discussion we had the last time we met, I've contacted Ameristar, and they're going through to see if they have anything in their files that would have an impact on outside, surrounding communities.
Okay.
And whatever they do have, they'll share with me, and then I'll bring it before the board and see if there's anything that we may want to read or ignore.
Okay.
Perfect.
I do have an update on that. I sent it to Robin. I don't know if she distributed it to everybody. But at the PVPC
Think so.
meeting
Yes.
last Thursday, okay, just to make sure you're all aware of this, Tim Brennan gave an update on the status of the casino issues. Okay. Basically, Hard Rock in West Springfield is not going to use PVPC. They're going to deal with each town individually. I don't think that they're going to consider us a surrounding town. Okay, because they're so far away. MGM is probably going to use PVPC for traffic studies only, for traffic impacts only, and deal with the towns individually on other issues. Mohegan Sun has agreed to use PVPC, but since they're in Palmer, they're probably not going to consider us a surrounding community.
Probably not.
The deadline for the final application for the proponents to the state is December 31st, 2013. In that application, they need to include signed negotiated agreements with the surrounding communities. That means that MGM will have to negotiate with our Board of Selectmen between now and December 31st and come to an agreement that can be signed by December 31st. Okay? Again,
Now, who determines if it's a surrounding community or not? Because you just said Hard Rock would not consider us, but maybe the authority in Boston would consider us.
The MGM, the casino proponent decides who the impacted surrounding communities are.
Well, isn't that kind of interesting?
That's in the state law. That's in the
Wow.
statute. If a town
Interesting.
disagrees with that finding, they can appeal to the State Gaming Commission by demonstrating why they think that they're an impacted community. Okay? But then, the onus falls on the town to put together the package to the State Gaming Commission that says, yes, we're impacted.
Does that have to be before or after? Because in order to prove that you've been impacted, it seemed to me that it would be after.
It has to be before
It does.
it goes, I mean, this is gonna happen right after the final application goes in, because we won't know who they've identified
Right.
until that final application goes in. And then I believe there's a 30 or 60-day window within which you can appeal to the Gaming Commission.
So if they submit their application on December 31st, which is the last day,
Yeah.
then we still have 30 days or 60 days, some period of time to
Right.
speak up.
But, again, we need facts, we
Right.
need data. We can't just wave our hands and say, we're next to Springfield, we're impacted.
We've got to be impacted.
Yeah, I mean,
All right,
this is the way the State Gaming Commission works, this is the way the law is written.
so PVPC is going to do a traffic study on our behalf?
Well, we don't know that yet.
Okay.
That's what MGM is proposing,
Okay,
but nothing has been formalized as of last Thursday.
okay. 'cause-
And I've been instructed that Ms. Thorpe is going to be the head person to arrange for meetings and discussions. And I've spoken to George about that. So she's the one that we have to wait on before we can have any meetings on it.
And let me make it clear, I'm the contact with PVPC, so I'm feeding information to the
Right.
town, and I'm also attending meetings to express my personal concerns as a member of the planning board and as an individual in town. It is up to the Board of Selectmen, as our governing body, to negotiate any kind of agreement, okay? You know, I can't do that, we can't do that.
And
It's
to initiate any discussion.
discussion, it's up to the Board of Selectmen to make that happen, okay? And I'm just, as our representative on PVPC, trying to get the best information out there that I can. But I'm not making any decisions on this. I'm just providing my own input. It's up to the Board of Selectmen who have to make those decisions, and they need to realize that it's August. We've got 4 months left.
Which will fly by.
Yeah.
And if I could, I don't
Certainly.
think that it's wrong if the board members, get in touch with Ms. Thorpe
Right.
and, encourage the meetings, the school department, the fire department, the police department, the council on aging. At our last department head meeting, everyone is ready and willing to sit down and talk about what they feel the impacts are going to be.
Right. You just need to sit down and discuss it.
But yeah, the discussions have to start, but
gotta
Nick
do
Bro
it now. Yeah.
Nick Bro told me that, like George just said, it's in their corner,
Okay.
but I don't think that it's wrong to encourage discussions.
I can
so
certainly make a
that we
phone
can get them
call.
going, yeah.
I can make a phone call to Angela, find out where she is, what her plans
Yeah.
are, what her intentions are. Let her know that we're, ready to move forward with our thoughts and
Because
interests
everybody's just
and
waiting.
information.
Yeah.
One other footnote, how did you make out with the guy in Long Meadow? I'm just kind of curious of what the route they are taking.
I talked with Walter Gunn, who's the chair of the Long Meadow Planning Board, and I invited him to come to a meeting. He said he would be happy to do that, but he wasn't sure it would be productive,
Okay.
because,
I think we're all grasping at the same straws.
yes, and Long Meadow is dealing with similar issues that we're dealing with as to who's in charge, why aren't they doing something, okay? They have a town manager, which we don't have.
Right.
Okay, and there are issues with who's going to do the negotiations, the selectman and the town manager. What role does the planning board have? So it's not really clear that him coming here and is going to provide us with anything at this point, because they don't really know what they're doing either.
Yeah.
Okay, quite frankly.
Well, the other side of the coin is they may not want us to know what their discussions are going to be with MGM either.
Well, I'm friends with Walter. We're both on PVPC together. He
I'm sure he'll
chairs.
tell you off the record, but I'm saying,
Yeah.
in a formal meeting like this, he probably wouldn't want to say much.
It probably would be part of it. He doesn't want to say things on TV,
Yeah, that's understandable.
But I will, as I learn things from him, I'll keep you informed, basically, their major concerns are Route 5, okay, which parallels the highway and which is gonna pick up traffic.
Most
I
definitely.
mean, right now, if there's an accident on the Long Meadow Curve, everything
Hey,
shuts
we're worried
down.
all the gamblers coming from Ellington right up 83.
Yeah, no question.
Well, I mean, they know what
Yeah,
it's like in the summertime when you have a concert at Six Flags.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, it's going to be very similar.
No, it'll be Big E traffic, it'll be bright night traffic, there's gonna be a lot of,
Yeah. They're not worried as much about development pressure because they don't have anything to develop.
right.
I mean, they're basically built out. So that's not a big issue for them. They are worried about crime. Okay, gambling associated issues for the seniors particularly, but for anybody in town. Again, it's different specific town-related issues that we both have. So I'll keep you informed of what I hear about there, or what Wilbraham's doing. I also know chair of the planning board in Wilbraham, and, we talk regularly. But right now, nobody knows what's going on, to be honest with you, and nobody has a clear plan forward. I haven't seen any real finished assessment by any town. Okay.
Well, I think
Four
there's,
months to get her act together.
well, the problem is we don't know what we don't know.
Right.
Yeah.
It's what I said at the last meeting, it's very.
Yeah, it's
It's
up in the
all new
air.
to all of us.
But I think we have to do the best we can so
Correct.
that we're in the best position to negotiate.
All right, I will call Angela tomorrow and find out where she is, and
Okay.
then see what she's got on her radar as far as meetings and get-togethers.
Yeah, be great.
All right, is there anything else anybody wants to talk about, discuss?
No, I'm good.
You're good? Sandra?
We've getting anywhere with any of the problems that we've had with Patsy's or anything? Has he notified us on anything?
Well, Dan Hellier's told me he needed a ramp, now Dan Hellier's saying he doesn't need a ramp, so I need some clarification on that. I've talked to George about the handicap access, architectural access review board.
Yeah.
Robin's looking into that, I wanna get a definitive letter.
From the fire department?
From somebody, I don't,
Fire department's
unfortunately, there's too
looking
much
into it.
misinformation.
I'm still waiting. I've got some answers, but not
Okay.
all of them.
I don't want to bring it back to this board until I have definitive answers. Unfortunately, I've got a lot of misinformation right now. I want to find what's
That's
right,
what-
what's
yeah,
accurate.
That was my
Yeah.
point.
Yeah, what's safe, what's protective, what serves the town, what serves Patsy, what serves the board.
I just wanted to move forward and get it
Yeah,
over with.
no, I agree.
Wouldn't,
Unfortunately, it doesn't happen overnight.
I mean, we did give them
The
3
stairs
weeks for a
should
set
be
of
there.
stairs.
I know.
The stairs aren't done.
I-
The dumpster's not taken care of yet.
If someone gets hurt there, does it come back to us?
I don't know. I think it would come back as an insurance company, but I'm going to try to get that issue resolved as far as the safety issue goes, as far as the ramp goes. Like I
It's just a
say,
set of stairs, it's not
I know.
Stairs should be there, yeah.
I know.
multi-million
But I don't know
dollar
what
But
you want to do about
As far as
that.
the ramp goes, that's already been written into a special permit. If we find it isn't necessary, wasn't necessary, or whatever, he's gonna have to come back in for an
For an
amendment to the
correct.
special permit
And the plan.
and a new plan. I mean, once you start paying for the cost of that.
Right, I'm not,
just-
unfortunately, I can't answer for him, but I can tell you, the phone calls or the discussions we've had. So I need to sit down with Dan Haley, the building inspector, make sure I get definitive answer, because wrote a letter saying one thing, now he's saying another. So again, I wanna,
But he hasn't written a second letter
He has not.
stating I was
Right, and I'm
incorrect in the
gonna-
first or
When's the
anything,
time
so
limit?
it's strictly hearsay.
we gave
2
Patsy.
months ago.
Yeah, 2 months ago,
So he's already
So-
over time.
correct. Way over time. I think we've been generous, but we do need to get a resolution to the situation.
Well, he's been overtime on the steps. We gave him till November 1st.
Right, we did give him some time.
For the ramp.
Well, the second time. First time you gave him till May.
Exactly.
All right, so I've been unfortunately a little busy with work, I've not gotten to see Dan Hillier.
But I'm
We'll see
still,
this
like
week.
I said,
So he's
I
looking
do
for
have
stuff
some
too.
answers, but not all of them. Still waiting.
All right, so it has not been forgotten, we'll just have to go through
And
the
Dan
process.
will be out for the next week, by the way.
Yeah.
Okay.
I would at least like the board to follow up with a letter stating that, you had agreed to put the steps in within 3 weeks. They're still not in.
Okay.
But
I just,
But then, what? You agreed, but, so, I mean,
Let me call him
what do
tomorrow.
I say?
Let me call
What's
him
going on?
tomorrow. Let me call him
Yeah.
tomorrow, let me find out what's going on. If I don't get a good answer, then we'll send him a letter.
All right.
That sound fair enough to everybody?
Just makes it fair to
I
everybody,
mean,
that's all.
I think we've been lenient, I think we've been accommodating, I don't,
think we've been more than
I agree.
Hey,
accommodating.
you're 2 months overdue, you've been very accommodating.
well, we try to please everybody, unfortunately, sometimes we just don't. but,
Right.
All right, that being said, is there anything else anybody like to add to tonight's discussion?
Yes.
Okay.
Just something minor. Is there any interest in doing a site visit to Shaker and Denslow before September 10th to just look at the property, or are you all comfortable with it?
Is there a need to? I mean, are there
No,
any
no, there's
outstanding
no need
issues?
to. I was asked the
I've been
question.
there.
Yeah,
Okay.
I knew you.
I've been by it
had.
100 times. I
Yeah.
never.
drive by it
Yeah.
almost every day.
The Conservation did a walkthrough of the site, and
Okay.
proved where the wetlands were.
Right.
So,
And they
I-
have since filed a notice of
and it's
intent.
basically flat.
Yeah, I
The
don't.
only issues are the river that goes
Left-hand
through the
corner.
southwest corner, and there's a little old farm pond, basically a stock tank,
Okay.
along Pease Road that is considered an isolated wetland because, it's been there forever.
Really.
But other than that.
And the pipeline does not go through there, right? Pipeline's
just does.
behind it?
It goes.
Yeah, the pipeline goes
Yeah.
to the southern boundary line,
Southern
of the property
boundary.
line of it.
Yeah, and they're not gonna be building there because they got
Rail trail.
the river.
And Tennessee Gas will keep them away from
Rail
that.
trail's nowhere near that.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I'm not worried
it is.
about that. And the only issue with the site
Not
is
that far back.
lots of poison
To the
ivy.
other side.
So if you really wanna go walk in there.
Yeah, be careful.
I can look at it and get that.
No, I think, if there was, something we needed to see, then great. I think.
No,
if
I
not,
just, because
appreciate
they
that.
asked, so I
Okay.
figured, if you wanted to.
All
But
right.
it's a pretty exciting plan, so
That'd be interesting to
Good.
see.
you have to really, look at it. We are having a roundtable on the 29th
Or Bay Path?
for Bay Path.
Okay.
It's my day off, and I'm coming in.
August 29th?
Yes.
What's that, Thursday?
10 o'clock, it's a Thursday. Mhm.
Thursday at 10?
Next
2 days,
Thursday at
okay.
10.
This Thursday.
No, this Thursday, day after tomorrow.
Oh, that's right, yeah. Man,
At 10.
It is.
In here.
in the
hearing
meeting room, yes. I'm sorry, the time is getting,
Yeah, say Thursday's in 2 days.
Call me if it's raining, I'll shoot in.
I might have,
yes, 10 o'clock. Mm-hmm.
no, I might have time to shoot in myself.
So if you're interested,
My only concern would be the traffic issue on that corner is a disaster.
they have done a full traffic study.
Good.
It is, but it's better that they're coming in from Denslow
Yeah,
rather than Shaker,
Yes.
right opposite Pease, which is
Oh,
what
that's
they were
nice.
first looking at. And so, I had met with them and with Jim Donahue, and we'd done a lot of, just kind of pre-planning for that. So it's like, it's a horseshoe, you'll see when you look at the plan, it's a horseshoe, a drop-off. So, and the exit from the horseshoe is 100 feet from the edge of
Oh, good.
Denslow.
good.
And are they
So-
gonna keep the curb cut as far away from Shaker Road as I can?
Yes.
As far west as possible?
Yes.
I'm not
Yeah.
good with
Yeah.
Yeah,
directions.
keep it away from the intersection.
Yeah, that
Yeah.
would-
Yes, they have.
It's 100 feet.
Police has looked at this already?
Good.
They have looked at it, but the roundtable is
Okay.
Thursday
Thursday,
they'll be
so.
looking at it.
Yeah. People on Wolf Swamp are gonna love this.
Mhm.
That's the
Yeah,
direct
it'll-
route
it'll
between
cause- yeah,
Bay Path and there.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
All right, one final time. Anybody else have anything to?
No, I'll be quiet.
No, I'm just,
No,
I want
that's
to make
it.
sure everybody gets their
No.
opportunity to speak.
That's it.
I want to make sure anybody's left being unheard. Ralph?
Mayor, anything? All set?
Ralph, are you sure you got?
I
know
am
you're thinking about
good.
something,
I've
but-
actually
Okay.
looked at those plans and all. I've walked the place already.
Okay, then.
My poor dog won't have any place to run anymore.
All right.
You won't have anywhere to dump your leaves.
Can I get a motion to adjourn?
So moved. Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Meeting is adjourned.